Namaste children, welcome back to our science class. Are you eagerly waiting for today's science class children? Yes, shall we move on to our today's class? Children, I have one picture for you. Have you seen this picture anywhere children? And can you tell me what is the name of this process? Yes, this is the germination of seed. We have learned from our lower class. Am I correct? Okay children. My next question for you. Whether the germination process is necessary? Say yes or no. Yes, it is very essential for producing a new plants. And children, do you one thing? The process by which plants and animals produce their young ones and increase their number is known as reproduction. Once again I will repeat. The process by which plants and animals produce young ones and increase their number, we can call it as a reproduction. Isn't it? Yes. Our today's topic is reproduction. In this chapter, we are going to see the reproduction in plants. And reproduction is broadly divided into two groups. That means the first one is sexual reproduction and the second one is asexual reproduction. Now you can ask me what is sexual reproduction and what is asexual reproduction. When the plants produce or when the plants reproduce from seeds, we call that process as sexual reproduction. Then what about asexual reproduction? All the other ways of reproduction, that means without seeds, are called as asexual reproduction. In other words, we can say a new plant grows from a fragment or part of a parent plant. So this process called as asexual reproduction or vegetative reproduction. Children, now we will move on to the sexual reproduction in plants. For sexual reproduction, seeds are very important, isn't it? Because now only we have learnt for sexual reproduction, the seeds are very important, isn't it? Then how we will get the seeds? Any guess children? Yes, the seeds is produced from a flower by the process of pollination and fertilization. And this is known as sexual reproduction. So, after the pollination and fertilization process is over, then the seeds are produced from the flower. To understand how seeds are formed in a flower, first we should know or we should understand the part of a flower. Flower consists four main parts: sepal, petal, stamen, pistil. So these are the four main parts of a flower: sepal, petals, stamen or a pistil. So these are the important four parts of a flower. Shall we see the parts one by one children now? Yes. In a bud, we can see a green color leaf-like structure and it is cover the whole bud or a flower. Each of these green-like structure present as an outermost layer is called as sepals. And this outermost ring of sepals is known as calyx. So the other name of sepal we can call it as calyx. C-A-L-Y-X, calyx. Shall we move on to the second part? And this is petal. Petals are the largest part of flowers. They are often attractive, brightly colored, sometimes sweet scented, and attract the insects. This ring of petals together, it is called as corolla. So the other name of petal we can call it as a corolla. C-O-R-O-L-L-A, corolla. Is it clear, children? Shall I move on to the next part? Yes. So this is the petals. Inner to this corolla, we can observe a long tube on which many stamens are arranged. Can you see this picture? So this is the stamen part. And one part here it is zoomed out. Yes. Inner to this corolla, we can observe a long tube on which many stamens are arranged. This ring or hole of a flower is called as androecium. Together we can call it as a androecium or male parts. Each stamen consists of two parts. That means a stalk called filament and a lobe called anther. If we touch these lobes in a mature flower, so these are the lobes. If you cut inside, you find the pollen grains. So if we touch these lobes in a mature flower, we can get a powdery substance called pollen grains. And this is the male reproductive part of a plant. Shall we move on to the next part? Yes. Inner to this androecium world, we can find a female reproductive part of a flower called carpel or pistil, and it is also known as gynoecium. So this is the female reproductive part of a flower. It is called as carpel or pistil or gynoecium. So this is a separate pistil part. Children, can you find this part is swollen at the bottom? Can you see this? That bottom part is swollen and it is called as ovary. On the top of the ovary, there is a slender tube-like structure called style, and the topmost sticky tip of the style, we can call it as a stigma. This is the fourth whorl of a flower, and inside the ovary there is a spherical shaped structure called ovules. So these are the main important parts of gynoecium. Do you know one thing, children? The seeds are produced only in this part, especially in a ovary parts. Can you see this picture? So when after the process of pollination and fertilization, we will get the seeds. So the ovary can change into fruit and ovules can change into seeds. So this is the fourth part of a flower. Children, I hope you have understand clearly about the parts of the flower, isn't it? Shall we recall once again, children? What is reproduction? The process by which plants and animals produce young ones and increase their number is known as reproduction. What is the types of reproduction? Sexual and asexual reproduction. So these are the two types of reproduction. How we will define sexual reproduction? When the plants reproduce from seeds, it is called sexual reproduction. Seeds are produced from flowers by the process of pollination and fertilization. And flowers consists four main parts. The green colored parts are sepals or calyx. The colored parts are called petals or corolla, and the male reproductive parts stamen or androecium, female reproductive part carpel, pistil or gynoecium. Is it clear, children? I hope you have understand clearly about the sexual reproduction in plants and also the parts of a flower. Now we will end up our class with this, children, and thank you, children.